Yo, I came back with another video idea since the last episode of Fire Force aired. Obviously by this title you can tell what this video is already about, the power of Charon. This video will be very short, I assume, as I'm making it right now. I don't think it's going to be that long because there isn't really that much to go over, I guess. But either way, I still hope you all enjoy this video. I don't really have much to say as an introduction, so let's just get straight into the video. Before I begin to explain the power of Charon, I want to give a little background information about the guy. So Charon was first introduced on chapter 79 with a small little introduction talking to the evangelist. Charon, along with other members of the Ashen Flame, confirmed to the evangelist that events were going according to plan. His other involvements within the Nether Arc were during the backstories of Shinra. During the backstory of Shinra, you can see Charon along with Hamiya orchestrating a kidnapping of the third pillar, Shinra's brother Sho. After that, the second arc he played a major importance in was the fifth pillar arc, which is currently airing within the anime. During the fifth pillar arc, Charon was tasked with grabbing and securing the fifth pillar, Inka Kasugutani. During the arc, he had to fight with Shinra, displaying his abilities. By the end of this arc, Charon did not end up having to do much work to convince Inka to join the evangelist, nor did he actually really sustain a lot of damage outside of one attack from Shinra. The last important arc for Charon is the sixth pillar arc, or the Hajime Industries arc, whatever you want to call it. During this arc, the White Class showed up and once again are tasked with gathering the sixth pillar that has just awakened from not only Hajime Industries, who has one of the strongest characters in the series that was compared to Benimaru, Kurono, but they also had to fight against Fire Force Company 8. It was a three-way battle for the sixth pillar, with Hajime Industries winning this fight. Last thing I have to say is Charon is the bodyguard or guardian of the second pillar, Hamiya. At one point, she couldn't take him anymore and switched them out for Arrow, but then now he's back as Hamiya's bodyguard and guardian, and Arrow was switched to Sho for his guardian. Now you finally understand the background around Charon. Couldn't give you a backstory though because he doesn't have one yet, but I do believe he will get one when Hamiya does. Most likely their fates are intertwined and their backstories are going to be held together. However, there was a moment where we got a small little glimpse into the backstory, and it was of Charon taking care of Hamiya as a baby. But other than that, we don't have anything in terms of a backstory for Charon nor Hamiya. So when that is eventually revealed for Hamiya, I feel like we would get one for Charon as well, especially during this last or these couple final arcs. However Okubo decides to do this. But within these last few arcs, we should get some sort of backstory for Charon. If not Charon, we definitely gonna get one for Hamiya, which should feature Charon within it. Nevertheless, let's move on to the power of Charon. Charon possesses a second generation ability. He is not third generation, even though if you look at him and the way he displays his power, it very well looks like he is a third generation. But he is a second generation pyrokinetic. He's very strong and has a tough and durable body, being able to withstand massive explosions from his enemies. However, some of this defensive strength cannot all be contributed to Charon's physical physique. Some of this has to deal with his initial ability, being a second generation pyrokinetic. Charon's second generation ability is that he is able to absorb and accumulate kinetic energy into his body from any attack that is done onto him. He then transforms that stored and built up kinetic energy into thermal energy, using it to attack with giant massive explosions. So as you see, every time Shinra attacks Charon, using an example of the fifth pillar arc, Charon is unaffected by these attacks because one, he's tanking it with his brute force and brute strength of defense, and then also he's storing that kinetic energy that Shinra is exhausting and using it back on him to do his attacks. With Charon's attacks, what we have seen so far is just a bunch of average normal blasts. He's able to just clap, boom, explosion, or he's able to do a Kamehameha with his fire attacks. It's still pretty interesting, especially the application of the power. As for Charon's most impressive feat, I would say it happened during the sixth pillar arc where he was able to even damage the moon. And so I thought that was a really nice, good display of Charon's strength. To set this up, the sixth pillar, Nataku, has an ignition ability that allows for him to control radioactive fire. Since he is a kid, he is very afraid of his own powers, especially since he just got them from a bug that bit him. He lost control of his powers during the arc and completely sent his fire ability going haywire. Not being able to control, he sent out a giant radioactive blast. No one having the power to actually stop the attack, Charon jumped in to protect, as he said, the pillars who were there, which were Shinra, Inka, and also the sixth pillar, Nataku. He jumped in front of the attack to try and stop it. With all his might, he tanked the attack and then absorbed the attack and redirected it towards the moon, putting a massive crater within the moon. So I guess you can say that Charon is moon level, at least. He's not as strong as Shimmer when he's going light speed when he's connected to the Evangelist, or he's not as strong as Sho when he's also going at light speed when he's connected to the Evangelist. But Charon is definitely one of the strongest people within the series. I would personally say he's top 5, and I'm mostly saying this without putting too much thought into everyone else's power. Off just the top of my head, I would say he's about top 5, top 6 in the series. However, I can't wait to the second season of the anime to get to some of these action scenes, because I think they would just look amazing and beautiful. The animation would just be perfectly crisp. It's going to look great, especially when the moon scene gets animated. As for the rest of Charon, he really hasn't displayed any more amazing, crazy feats throughout the rest of the story past the 6 pillar arc. However, when the war arc or battle arc comes, which we are basically in right now in the manga, Charon will be a force to be reckoned with. So I can't wait for that to happen. I want to see him do more feats. I want to see him fight everyone. I don't even care who, just someone strong, because I need to see more from this man. But that is it for the video. I hope you all have enjoyed this nice little video on my boy Charon. Like, comment, and subscribe for more Fire Force content, and have a nice day, I guess.